Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Serving Skillet, where this week we are continuing to make chip dips for our homemade chips. This week is guacamole, and we are gonna start with some wonderfully ripe avocados. Now, when you go to the store and you pick out avocados, they should really be mostly firm with a little bit of give, and I'll show you what I mean. If you press on your elbow right there, that's just bone. They shouldn't be that hard, but if you like flex a muscle and push in, that's about how much give they should have. Now, if they don't have that much give, or if they're just not available, get a few more than you need maybe, and wait a day or two. That's what I did with these. They were all hard when I went to the store. I wanted 4, I got 6, just so that when 4 got ripe, I would be able to make this. To navigate an avocado, you can really just cut down to the pit, rotate the avocado around the knife. You get a nice smooth break. It comes apart, pits on one side, and if you knock the pit with the knife, sometimes you need to edge it in there a little bit more, but if you turn it, it's gonna come loose. Then you just push it with your thumb, pit comes right off the knife. Save those pits though, because that is the secret sauce, and I actually forgot that. I threw 2 of my pits away, but that's okay because we still have 2 of the pits. That's what's gonna help keep this green, keep our guacamole from going brown. After that, I'm gonna go in with this very beautiful looking jalapeno. This is a little bit of a more ripe jalapeno. It's gonna have a little bit more full flavor. It is about a medium heat, so I'm just gonna go in with the 1 and I'm gonna push the seeds aside. If this didn't have that much heat to it, I might keep the seeds. I like cilantro in my guacamole. If you are one of those unfortunate people that tastes soap when you taste cilantro, you can go ahead and substitute actual soap in this and it's gonna taste just the same. I'm gonna take about half of this cilantro out and chop about the first third of it. Then I'll take the stems and pick off the leaves. The top third of it has the most leaves anyway, and I really don't want the bottom half of the stems. They tend to get a little bitter. Rough chop both ways, get that in my bowl, and I like a little tomato in my guacamole. Now, I've seen before people just take a whole can of salsa and mix that in with some avocados. That can work very well. I like to choose my own flavor profile though, but in a pinch, I have been known to do that. And now it's time for our aromatics. So for every avocado I use, I like to use a clove of garlic, and I'm just going to roughly chop these before I go in with about half of a sweet onion. I'm using sweet onion here because it still has the oniony flavor, but I'm gonna be eating this raw. It's gonna have more than enough flavor to boost up my guacamole without me breathing fire. So about half of that sweet onion. I might not even use all of it depending on how strong of a flavor it is, and I'll just wrap the other half up and use it in another culinary project. And I'm just gonna chop all of these up. I want them sort of finely minced before I add the other secret sauce, which is salt, but not just any salt in any application. I want kosher salt because it's very coarse, and I'm gonna sprinkle it on. And sprinkle is a generous word here because I want to generously sprinkle it on my garlic and onions so that I can smash them with the flat of this knife. It's gonna help break down those cellular membranes, get all the flavor of the garlic and onion out and in that liquid that surrounds them. And that way, I won't have to add as much to get the flavor that I want. Lastly, I'm gonna go in with the juice of 1 lime. I think that I might want more, but limes are one of those things, kind of like onions, kind of like jalapenos, so kind of like all of this. They're not really consistent across the board, so I'm gonna use 1 right away and taste it. And I think that this tastes really, really good. I'm gonna go in with about half another lime, a little more salt, and that's it. Now we can enjoy our guacamole, and this is gonna get a little better over time as those flavors have a chance to marry over the next half hour, over the next hour. All right, check it out. It's got our pits in there. It has been sitting for maybe 20 minutes. All of those flavors have had a chance to marry, and we're gonna try it out on the tortilla chips that we made on Patreon together. That link is in the description below. Let's give it a taste. So good, so full of flavor. We used only whole ingredients, and we got something that just tastes amazing. We're just highlighting the flavors of these wonderful fruits and vegetables. If you're into dips and garnishes, last week I made a pico de gallo that's just out of this world. We're gonna leave that right here. And then I like some avocados with my tamales. That's right here, that was a couple of weeks ago. I'll see you next week. Get in the kitchen and make yourself something amazing.